NBC News nightly news anchor Tom Llamas is down in Central Texas and has more now on the lives lost and some of the remarkable stories of survival there.
Battling the heat, mud, and misery, they're looking for any signs of life. Search and rescue teams on the Guadalupe River furiously combing through massive mountains of debris.
We're in the middle of the river right now, and just behind me, you can see why this search and recovery is so complicated. There are mounds of this mangled steel and tree branches and tree trunks. This team is trying to figure out a way inside to see what, if anything, or anyone is still trapped.
An all-out search for survivors by water, air, and horseback.
All over this area, you see homes and trailers and RVs with this giant orange X. It means they've been searched. We hope whoever lived in here got out, because you can see what the river water did to this, flipping this entire RV over, destroying everything inside.
Volunteer firefighter Wyatt Kelly has been at this for days.
What kind of things have you seen out here?
Unthinkable things. I mean, there's things that no one ever would have thought they've seen in their lifetime.
So many people were in their beds, fast asleep, when the floodwaters began to rapidly rise early on the 4th of July. The catastrophic flooding killing at least 104 people in 6 counties, including Julian Ryan, who was with his mother, kids, and wife Christina in their trailer home as the water began to rise.
My husband started panicking because there was no way for us to get out. There was no way for us to get up. And so he tried to bust out the window and sliced his arm almost off.
Christina says he quickly began to bleed out.
What do you remember? I'm so sorry you had to see your son go through that.
I just remember holding him so he would get swept in the flood. Blood going everywhere. His last words to me was, "Mom, I love you. And you make sure you tell everybody else I love you. Love them."
Tragedy also playing out at Camp Mystic, which says 27 of its campers and counselors are among the dead and missing. Hallie Thompson's 10-year-old daughter somehow managed to escape from her cabin.
My daughter grabbed onto a tree and grabbed the hand of her friend and put it on the tree. And so one by one, those girls came out and found anything they could cling to.
Hallie and 4 other family members were nearby. Their cabin was also surrounded by water. She says their neighbors saved their lives.
It feels wrong or strange to feel how grateful that I am that we're all alive while we are still waiting for word about friends' daughters, and while we have received word of the friends' daughters who've died.
Lila Bonner, Sarah Marsh, Janie Hunt, Eloise Peck, and twins Hannah and Rebecca Lawrence, just some of the young campers whose lives were cut tragically short. Kellyanne Littall is still missing. Her dad posting this video of her solo at a Christmas pageant, asking prayers for a miracle. You can see the flood's devastating toll on the century-old all-girls camp in these images. Look at how high the water came into the cabin. The floodwaters tossing muddy mattresses from bunk beds. This pink trunk with the name L flipped on its side. A stuffed animal left behind. A camp nurse posting this haunting video of some of the little girls singing as they evacuated. The Lord of love has come to me. The 4th of July holiday brought many families to the cabins that dot the river's edge.
We don't know everybody who was here, so we don't know everybody who's missing.
Could be even worse, you're saying?
Yeah, it will be worse, because we don't know everybody who's missing.
Joe Herring Jr. is the mayor of Kerrville.
Took me completely by surprise. I'm sad to say I didn't know. If there was any way on God's green earth that we could have warned people, we would have done it, but we did not know.
13-year-old Blair Harbor and 11-year-old sister Brooke were there spending the holiday in a cabin with their parents and grandparents. Their bodies were found 15 miles down the river, together. Their school wrote a, quote, powerful symbol of their lasting bond. Their parents survived, but their grandparents are still missing. Amid the heartbreaking loss of life, there are also remarkable stories of survival. After this woman was swept 20 miles down the river, she clung to a tree for hours until rescuers and boats were able to come and save her. In Hunt, Texas, Diana Smith says she woke up to find her house surrounded by water.
Open the front door and it sweeps both my dogs different directions, and I'm panicking thinking, now what the hell am I going to do?
She says she called 911, but no one came.
I said a prayer when I was standing on my porch. Both my parents are deceased, and I said, Mom, Dad, God, help.
She managed to jump into a kayak with her dogs, paddling to safety. 11-year-old Kaylin Kubina was at Camp La Junta, 6 miles from Camp Mystic.
We looked outside and we just saw like an ocean out there. It's just like completely destroying everything.
There's people in it. Oh my God, there's so many people in it.
This cabin appeared to float away in the floodwaters. Still, the camp says everyone was able to evacuate to safety.
We saw like a whole cabin just floating down, and that's when we knew like things were getting actually real out there. Like we were starting to realize that this was a real natural disaster crisis.
We were with the Alvarado family as the reality set in. Their 2 daughters were in this RV when the river surrounded them. These are the images of what they saw outside of their windows.
We couldn't see through the water, but we could see the currents moving, and it just kept going. Like there was no end to it.
Their dad came to their rescue along with a neighbor, pulling the girls to safety. Brooke, the oldest of the 2, looking down at the river and realizing how some girls just like her weren't as lucky.
When you guys heard about all the people that didn't make it, I mean, what was that like? I mean, to know that like you were right here.
It hurt. I'm sorry. It just sucks that a lot of people just lost their lives, but it's really good to hear about the people that are getting out and stuff.